morning. This is because you asked. Yesterday, my daughter heard me say that the gospel that Jesus preached was lost in the first century. And she asked me, she said, well, Dad, can you explain how the gospel was lost? So here is a couple of minutes around that. And it basically has to do with the fact that for 1,500 years or more, the Hebraic people had a certain worldview, a certain revelation about the nature of God that made them very unique to all the other nations. God was covenanted to reveal himself and to act mightily on behalf of Israel. And that Israel was to be a nation then that would be a light, an example of godly nations and how people could relate with God's presence at the center of their culture. And so all the nations that did not have that revelation and that covenant and those prophecies and scriptures and priesthood and temple, they did not have a clue in comparison to the revelation of God. Well, as the work of God's redeeming humanity through Israel was in progress, there were a promise of the Messiah. The King, David's son, would sit on the throne, and his kingdom would know no end. And so many prophecies and psalms and even outside of Scripture, many cultural narratives grew up around what the Messiah would be like and what his kingdom would accomplish when it got here. Once the gospel came from the early Jewish church to then the Hellenized world, the Greek-speaking world, the Greek cultural world, and the Roman imperial government, the Greco-Roman world, there was many things about the Hebraic understanding of the Messiah and his kingdom that was lost. Tomorrow I'll share specific on how that happened.